Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing another makeup declutter, and today we're doing all of my eyeshadows, or eye products I guess. So my big palettes, my small palettes, my one and done eyeshadows, eyeshadow sticks. We did declutter quite a bit. I don't think I decluttered quite as much as I did in my blush declutter. If you watch that, you know I got rid of more than half my blushes. I don't know that we did that much this time, but I did get rid of quite a few things. And you know, over my years of doing beauty content and having this YouTube channel, I feel like I've just really figured out what I like and what I don't like, things that look good on me, formulas that I like, formulas that I actually want to pull out and use, and just things that fit into my life. Just because I have a channel doesn't mean I want to hang on to things that are never going to get used. You know, I like to hold on to the stuff that I know I like and I know that I would pull out and use, if not on a daily basis, pretty frequently. So that's kind of my mindset going into this. I didn't want to keep anything for my fantasy self. I kind of mentioned that in the video. I think that's definitely a thing where we will buy things for our fantasy self, or we'll hang on to things for our fantasy self. And I'm just kind of over that. I just want to have the things that I like and that I will use. I do have a lot of neutrals. I always get that comment when I do an eyeshadow palette declutter. Yes, I have a ton of neutral palettes and I like it that way. So you'll see that reflected in what I have and what I end up keeping and what I declutter. And a lot of these things are very new or they're barely used. So I will probably sell a lot of them on my Mercari. I do that with my makeup that I buy and I don't like it, or it just doesn't work great for me, or I don't want it for whatever reason. I will probably do that with a lot of the palettes in particular. So I will link my Mercari below if you're interested in anything. I will have that link in the description box. But I think that is everything. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. I have a bunch of declutters. I have a decluttering playlist if you want to watch some more after this one. After this video, we only have one more and we have to tackle the lip products. So that will be coming in the next few weeks. But I think that's everything. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get into this declutter. We're gonna start with my small eyeshadow palettes, which I have quite a few of. This is definitely my favorite type of palette. I love a small palette, and you'll see that in what I'm keeping and just what I have in general. I'm definitely drawn to this style of palette. I'm looking at these and I'm thinking this is gonna be hard. Okay, let's start with these. So I have two of the Prada palettes. This is Peony, which is definitely my favorite. This is not going anywhere. I love this formula. This is obviously such an expensive eyeshadow palette, but I use all four colors in here. And that's something that I'm going to ask myself as I'm doing this declutter is, will I use every color in this palette? Does this work for my skin tone? And is this something that I would actually use? Like, not my fantasy self that might use it at some random time or random circumstance. Am I actually going to pull it out and use it? This palette I adore. I think this is 100% worth the money. It's that really nice creamy powder. They're beautiful. They have a little bit of sheen to them. They're not just flat matte shadows. Even this cream here that is matte, it still has just the slightest bit of like a radiance to it that's just beautiful. I love that palette. So that one in Peony is an easy keep. Now, I also have this one in, I don't even know the name actually. I know Peony, but I don't even know the name of this one. So I'm torn on this because I did not buy this. This was sent to me by Prada Beauty because I did an Instagram campaign thing with them a few years ago, and they sent me this specific palette for that video. The reason I'm like torn on it is because I would not use that color, that pink, but I would use these three. So I'm kind of breaking the rules. I feel like if I keep it, because I said if I'm not going to use every color, I'm not keeping it, but I do like the other shades in here. Although that one is really warm. That's like a yellow brown. I love this shade right here. It kind of looks like a rose gold and like a champagne all in one. It's really pretty. I'm gonna say put in the maybes. We're already starting a maybes on for the eyeshadows because I'm not sure on that one. This is definitely gonna be tough. Moving into these palettes from Chantecaille. So these they make one of these every year, the little trio palettes. And usually these are like philanthropic palettes and they donate part of the proceeds to whichever animal is featured on the palette. This one was from 2 years ago and it was the cheetah palette, which I love so much. I don't think you can get this anymore, but I'm not getting rid of it. I just love this. I love everything about it. This is just such a perfect, easy eyeshadow look. You can use this on its own, you could use the brown on its own, or you can use the shimmer, or you can use them all three together. And it's just exactly the kind of thing that I love. So I'm not getting rid of this. I also love cheetahs. I love cats in general. So that one speaks to my heart. So that is staying. Then last year they did the butterfly. This is what the butterfly palette looks like. Now this palette is actually pretty different from the formula in the cheetah palette. This is like a baked formula from Chantecaille that's really pretty. Those other shadows I just showed you, those are like standard eyeshadows. Nothing super special about the formula. I just love the colors. But these baked shadows from Chantecaille are absolutely stunning. And this is obviously a little bit out of my comfort zone because of the purple, but it's not like an intense, vibrant purple. It's more of a muted lavender. So that's it right there. I'm gonna try to swatch some of these things, but I'm not gonna swatch every palette because we'll never get through this video, but this is so pretty. I'm definitely going to keep this. I really like these little trios from Chantecaille, so those will be staying. I actually did just get the new one for this year, which is the Flamingo palette. I haven't even used it yet. They sent it to me. If you want to see me use that in a video, will you let me know in the comments and I will include that in an upcoming video. All right, moving on to my Lisa Eldridge palette. So I have two of these. I have Fawn and I have Vega. Vega is the one I use the least. Fawn I use the most, which is this one right here. I really like this because you can do a really easy, like everyday kind of look with just one of these browns, or you could use this topper right here and do something, you know, more sparkly. You have a darker shade for a liner or like a smoky shadow look or something. I really like these. I do feel like this shade has kind of, feels like it's like not hard panned, but kind of a little bit. I mean, it still swatches fine. I don't know how to describe her eyeshadow formula. It's honestly kind of similar to that Prada formula, but it's not quite as creamy feeling as the Prada. I'm not sure how to describe it, but these are like satin mattes. Anyway, I'm definitely keeping Fawn. Now, Vega, this palette is beautiful. I am kind of torn on it because I don't reach for this one that often. And like this blue gray is so pretty, but I never wear shades like that. I could wear these other shades though, so I don't know. Part of me thinks maybe I could sell this, give it to someone else, because like that color I'm not gonna use on my skin tone. I think I am gonna declutter Vega. And I will probably sell it on my Mercari because there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm trying to be really practical here because if I'm not going to use it, I don't want to keep it. All right, moving into these two Dior quints that I have. So I have Soft Cashmere, which is this one right here. And I have Nude Dress, which is here. Nude Dress is my favorite. I've used this one quite a bit. Do they sell Nude Dress anymore? I think they do. This is before the Dior palettes were reformulated. See, the lowercase Dior is different than it is now. I love this one. So this one is definitely staying. Nude Dress. I like that you get warmer brown, a gray, a really pretty kind of neutral metallic, and then you get two lighter shades there. I love that one. So that will be staying. Now, this one, honestly, I think I'm gonna sell this one. This has never been used. It's brand new. What happened was I bought this probably 3 years ago. Maybe, I don't even know if it's been 3 years, maybe not that long. But this was right when Dior was about to come out with their new everything. They were rebranding everything, and I was in an Ulta and I found one of these palettes in soft cashmere that I kind of wanted, and it was the older formula. So I picked it up, and guess what? It's never been used. It's sitting here unused. It's very pretty, but this is pretty cool toned for me. I do like a cool tone, but this is really kind of like silver gray, which is not what I go for on an everyday basis. So I'm thinking I will declutter that one, and I'll probably sell it on my Mercari. Then we have 3 little Natasha Denona minis. I really don't know what to do about these. This is the mini gold palette, which I don't even know if you can get this palette anymore. I know for a while you could only get it on the Natasha Denona website. Sephora did not have this. And here's the thing, guys. I love greens. Like, I love to wear green, like green clothing. I don't often, though, want green eyeshadow. Even though I do like it when I apply it, it's not like an everyday kind of shadow for me. So I'm always torn on if I keep palettes like this or not. Like, there's another palette we're gonna get to in a minute that's very green, and it's beautiful, but I don't use it. I don't pull it out, and that palette kind of makes me think I'll probably declutter that one. Maybe I should keep this one since this is a mini palette. I don't know. I'm feeling very torn. Then we have the My Mini Dream palette from Natasha Denona. This is beautiful, neutral. I love all these colors. I will use all these colors, so that one is gonna stay. And then this is the I Need a Nude mini. I think this was from a holiday set like a year ago, not this past holiday, but the holiday before. And I bought it even though I have the full size I Need a Nude palette. I bought it because I couldn't resist this cute little trio. I don't know, but now I'm like, Blair, do you really need this if you have the full size palette? Probably not. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna declutter that. I will probably resell it. And then this one, we're gonna put this in the maybes for now, and we will reevaluate. Moving on. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is gonna be so freaking hard. Okay, I have 2 of these little mini Hourglass Curator palettes. I have, this one's my favorite. This is the Realist. This kind of stuff makes me so happy. These really basic, like boring little eyeshadows, I love it. I love this specifically because this leans very neutral, which is very hard to find in eyeshadow palettes. Sometimes things lean really cool or really warm. That it's very rare to find true neutrals. These are true neutrals. And I love this tiny little palette. Now, a lot of people didn't like these because they're small and the packaging is not super heavy. And they're expensive. I forget how much they are, but they're definitely expensive. I personally love them. They're a very muted formula, so if you like a lot of pigment, this is not going to be for you. This is for like a eyeshadow beginner or somebody that likes a very soft, diffused look. I love that, so I will be keeping it. I also have the Minimalist, which is for matte shades that are very, I would say, cool leaning, with the exception of this shade right here. This one is a little bit more neutral. It's like a really light, well, honestly, it swatches and looks a little bit more cool toned. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is a little bit more on the cool side, but I love 4 very basic shades that I will actually use, and you know, that's the kind of stuff that I wear. So those will be staying. Now these are going to be hard. Okay, so I have 3 Victoria Beckham palettes. I have one of her originals in the Signature Color Story, which is my favorite one, and you can't get this anymore, and it makes me so sad. I keep thinking maybe she's gonna release her new formula and her new palettes in something similar to that, but it hasn't happened yet. I wish that it would, but it has not happened yet. So here are the palettes that I have. I have Signature, which is the original. Honestly, I should not keep this because you can't get it anymore, but I love this palette. I This makes me so happy. I love Victoria Beckham's products for the most part in general, but this palette is so soft, neutral. You're gonna hear me say that a lot because that's what I like, that's what excites me, and that's what I actually pull out and use. So that one will be staying. I am torn on these because, not because these are bad, I did a video on these when they came out. This is a really nice shadow formula. Not the easiest to work with, I would say. I would not recommend these for a beginner because these shadows are not hard to work with, but they're also not the most blendable, seamless shadows, particularly the mattes. So for that reason, I would not recommend these for a beginner. They are beautiful though. I have one negative thing to say about her palettes that she has right now. Both of these are very intense for somebody with a light skin tone. Unless you're wanting that for, like, you know, an occasion or something. These are not everyday palettes for me, and for that reason, it makes me not sure if I really like have to keep them. I wish she would make a palette that had lighter shades for people that have lighter skin, because all her color stories right now are more for medium and deeper skin tones. All of them. They're all just more intense shadows. Like this one, this is the Victoria color story. Now this shadow, this matte shadow, this is okay. I can make this work, but it's just a little bit dark for like a one and done everyday kind of shadow for me. I can make it work and use very little, but it's just a little bit dark. And then all three of these are really deep, which I wish at least one of them was like a little bit lighter, because I would not use those on an everyday basis. So, and same goes with these greens, they're beautiful. And like this brown, kind of the same thing. It's also extremely like yellow brown, which is not my favorite either for my skin tone. So I'm struggling with these. I know she came out with some new ones recently too. There's a cocoa color story, I think is what it's called, that's I guess inspired by her cocoa eyeliner, but that one's the same thing. I love the colors, but they're deep. They're too deep for somebody with light skin. I'm torn. Okay, we'll put these in the maybes now too. Maybe at the end I'll have more clarity. I don't know, but I feel very uncertain, but I am gonna keep the original one in Signature for sure. Okay, I have Surat. I have two of their palettes. I have Beyond Beige, which is stunning, and then I have this one. This one, they actually sent me and they made this palette for me, so it's not like a pre-made palette that you can buy. This shadow formula is so nice. This is very unique. It's like a very, very thin, like barely there feeling shadow, but not that they don't have pigment, they do, but they're very soft, very diffused, kind of like those Hourglass palettes. If you like a lot of pigment, you're not going to get that from these. So these are going to be for someone that likes a very soft, elegant, diffused eye look. I'm definitely keeping Beyond Beige. This is one that you can buy, and it's for really nice neutral colors. I love the formula. That one is definitely a keep. I'm a little bit torn on this one, although I do like it. The only one that I'm like iffy on is this color, because it does lean like very warm, like an orangey brown, but it's very easily diffused. It's not like intense pigment, so I can definitely make it work. I'm just trying to decide if I like need this. That's like a light pink that I can definitely use. This is my favorite shade, this like pewter taupey color. I'm gonna say keep. I like the Surat formula, and I can really easily make those work. All right, I did not think that the eyeshadows were gonna be this hard, but these are really, really difficult. Moving on. So I have two of the YSL palettes, which I do love. So I've got Over Brun, which is this one. This one is pretty warm, with the exception of like this topper leans pretty neutral, like a slightly rosy champagne. Stora Dolls is this one. This is the first one I ever got. This one's very cool toned, but this color story is so pretty. These shadows, one of the best on the market, in my opinion, in terms of luxury eyeshadows. They are so incredibly creamy and buttery, and they just look so effortless on the eyes. I love this formula from YSL. So I will be keeping both of these. I think they've actually released some new ones of these since I've last looked at them. I can't get rid of those. And the packaging, one of the best on the market as well, in my opinion. So those will stay. I have one palette from NARS. This is the shade Mojave in their quad. Okay, I'm gonna declutter this for one main reason, because this palette does not have a matte transitional crease color. It has this shade here, this warmer kind of golden brown, but it's pretty metallic. You couldn't really use this for a transition shade, and it also is quite warm. It's like a yellow brown kind of golden shade. Then you have a really light color, which I wouldn't do a whole lot with. I mean, I guess you could like highlight your inner corner with it. You have this really pretty pink topper, and then you have this pretty deep matte brown, which, you know, that's good for liner or for just like a slight outer corner smokiness. But this isn't a complete palette in my mind, and I like the NARS eyeshadow formula. It's not like my top favorite, but I do like it. But I know I'm not gonna reach for that palette for that reason. So I will declutter that one. Then I have the Dior Backstage Smoky Essentials palette. I am gonna keep this one. I don't have another color story like this one, and it doesn't really look like a formula that I would gravitate towards, but I actually love the Backstage formula. It's very soft. You'll see that I like a soft, more natural eyeshadow formula. That's just what I go for. And this one is that. These are so nice, buttery. I like these purpley tones. I like that it has these two deeper kind of gray blue colors. It's definitely different for me, but anytime I have used this, like I did a video with this palette, I don't know, probably like a year ago or so. I think it was a Shop My Stash video, and I used this palette, and I still go back to that video and look at the eyeshadow in that video because I loved it. And this is the palette that I used. So I am gonna hang on to that. I think that formula and that color story in general is so pretty. All right, then we have this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of the newer palettes, the Beautifying Eye Trends in the super neutral color story. Just glancing at this is exactly the kind of thing that I like. But have I pulled this out and wanted to use it since I got it? No. So I'm like, do I need to keep this? I mean, there's something about it that's keeping me from using it. I don't really know why. I liked this formula. I thought this was pretty good actually from Charlotte Tilbury. The shadows are very pigmented. Probably the reason I don't reach for it is because it's not really an everyday palette. And you all know, I rarely leave the house. Like I'm here, I'm a mom, I stay home. I rarely have occasions to use deeper eyeshadows or a lot of sparkle, a lot of like glam eyeshadow. I love that kind of stuff, don't get me wrong, but that's not the phase of life that I'm in right now. I feel like if I keep this, it's just gonna sit and it's not gonna get used. I'm gonna declutter. I know that, I can't believe I'm decluttering that, but I just know it's just gonna sit there if I keep it. Finally, I have 3 from Tom Ford. I have, let's see, this is my favorite. This is Rose Topaz. Yeah, Rose Topaz. This is the cream to powder formula. Love this color story. I like all 3 shades, especially this one. I love this shade. It's so like soft, and a lot of people would say really boring, but I love it. I think it's so pretty and love this formula. Again, very soft, very wearable. So that one I will definitely keep, and that's the one that I pull out and actually use. These 2 I never use, and I always hang on to them. This one is Honeymoon. I'm gonna finally declutter this. I know I am not gonna pull that out and use it. It is pretty, but that's like Fantasy Blair, and I'm trying not to keep things for Fantasy Blair. And then we have the original Nude Dip. This is a color story that I like, although it is really cool toned. It's so good though. And this was the original Tom, well, it it was one of the original Tom Ford formulas. I think these are being discontinued now or reformulated, I guess. I don't know. Am I going to use it though? That is the question. I feel like, should I declutter this? I feel like I should. I never reach for it. I'm gonna declutter it. I said I was gonna get rid of stuff that I know I'm not gonna use. And I feel like that's just gonna sit there. So we're gonna declutter that. I think that's it for mini palettes. Honestly, I've been really good about not buying eyeshadow in the last year or two. So I don't have that many. But let's go through these quickly. So this is probably one of my most used in my entire collection, this Patrick Ta, the Major Dimension Essential Artistry Edit in the shade Light. Love this, especially these four. Really, my favorites are these two in the middle. Very neutral, they don't lean, really warm or really cool. You do have a little bit of a darker, warmer brown, a nice like creamy shade, and then even like an inner corner or a brow bone highlight with this. Love this formula. I think these are fantastic. I think these mattes are honestly even better than his large palette mattes. And that's a great, that's just a great palette. So that is absolutely staying. Then I have this Give palette. These, I think Give has gone away. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they ever formally announced, but I think everything's been clearanced out of Sephora anyways. But yeah, I'm not going to use this. This palette I actually like. It's, again, very basic, very boring. I did like it. I really like this like gray green color right here, but this brand is no more. And I have other shades like that in other palettes now, so I will declutter that. And then these are my two little MAC palettes that I made, and I'm going to keep these. So this is, I think, Omega, Honey Lust, Brulee, and Brun. I think that's right. So Omega, Brulee, Brun, and Honey Lust. My perfect little neutral palette that I made. I still really like these little MAC palettes that you can customize. I think that's nice to have. So I will keep that. Then I have a 6 pan that I also made. I don't remember these. I think this is Lunch Money, Sandstone, Wedge. I should remember this one. Woodwinked, Espresso maybe. And I can't remember this like beigey pink one. I'm gonna keep that though. And I think that's it for my small palettes. So let's move into my larger palettes now. All right, so I have 3 of the bigger Natasha Denona palettes. I have the Yucca, I Need a Nude, and the Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palette. So we'll get this one out of the way. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I Need a Nude. I know a lot of people love this. And this is a perfect example of a palette that I like every single shade in here. And since I'm not keeping that little mini, the little trio palette, I have those shades in here. So that's an easy one. That is going to stay. I have this Yucca palette. You know, I kind of went through a phase where I was experimenting with shadow kind of at the beginning of my channel, and then over time I've just kind of figured out what I like on myself and what looks good on me, and I don't really like a lot of color like this on myself. I do think this is a cool like palette. I think it's fun to look at, but like this green, this like yellow color, I won't use. This is just not a palette in my life right now that I'm going to utilize. So for that reason, we are going to declutter the Yucca palette. Not a bad palette by any means, just trying to be realistic here. That was the palette I was talking about when I was talking about this mini gold. If I'm getting rid of that one, maybe I'll keep this one since we do have a little bit of that green tone in here. Put it in the maybes for now. And then I have this one. This is the new Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone. I actually like this palette. I've used this quite a bit since I got it, and I like this because you literally have every single tone in here. You have rosy tones, peachy tones, yellow tones, cool tones, warm tones, and more neutral tones, spanning from really fair to really deep. You can do honestly a lot with this palette. It's just a nice color story to have, and I like the formula in here too. So I'm going to hang on to the Eye Sculpt palette. Now, I have the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palettes. Y'all know me, this is my favorite I love these palettes so much, especially the first one, which I guess is the middle one. Yeah, this is probably my favorite palette that's ever been released. I love everything about this. If I could design like an eyeshadow palette for myself, it would look like this. I love it. You can't get the original anymore. But I don't care. I would never get rid of that one. So that will stay. Now, the newest one is the Nature palette. A lot of people did not love the new formula or this new palette. The shades in here are a bit different than the original palette. I did a video on this when it came out. However, I love this palette. I think it's beautiful neutrals with just a little pop of color with these two shades right here. But I think this is so stunning. So I will definitely be keeping. Now, this one is the one from, I guess, a year and a half ago. This is the one I don't use very much for obvious reasons. It's super, super cool toned. It has this blue, it has a black, it has really, really cool shades in here, and I don't use it, but I don't typically declutter Mario products, although I feel like I could probably let this one go. I'll probably resell that one because there's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty of use to be had with this, so I'll probably resell that one. All right, I think these are actually my last palettes, so I don't have nearly as many as I used to. Easy keep, the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes in the neutral tones. One of my most used palettes ever. I love this. I love his formula. Super easy to use. You get every single shade you would ever need in here. That's a perfect palette in my mind. So that I will keep. Okay, then I have the Urban Decay Naked palette. So this is the one, I think it's gone again now, but they brought this back for a while and I rebought it because I had the original one years ago, back when, I guess it was when I first started my channel. I decluttered it. They finally brought it back. I guess this was like a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit less than that. And I bought a new one and I do love it. Yeah, this is so nostalgic for makeup people. I gotta hang on to this. Now, I don't use like this blue and this navy. I might for like a specific occasion or something, but I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made the first time in decluttering this. So I will be keeping the Naked palette. All right, then I have this Spectrum palette from Sigma. This is nice. I think I used this in a video. I can't remember. This is a beautiful palette though, but I don't need this. I have these shades in other palettes that I like more than this one, and in formulas that I like more than this one. So it is pretty. I like the color story a lot, but I'm gonna let that one go. Then we have the Patrick Ta large palettes. So I have the Major Dimension, the original one. This used to be my absolute favorite palette. I don't reach for it as much anymore. I still love it. In fact, I would buy a new one. This one is very old and I do still like this formula. However, now that we have the lighter or the smaller palettes, the 6 pans, and he has all of his eye toppers, which I have quite a few of now. I'm just debating if I really need this palette. It's also very old. I've had this for years. Let's go to this one. This is the second. I'm gonna declutter this one. This is the rosy color one. Most of these shades in here I won't use, like these 6 right here, especially like this red, I won't use that. I would use these, but I have these in other palettes. So I am actually gonna declutter the Major Dimension 2. And then I also have Major Dimension 3, which is his all matte palette. So here's the 6 pan in light. So honestly, these 4 are, honestly, the first 6 are very similar to these 6. So I'm like, okay, do I need this too? Probably not. But I also kind of want to keep it. They're definitely not identical. They are a little bit different in terms of the shades. They're similar though. You do get the creams in here, a black and a brown. You have a black shadow. I very rarely use a black shadow. I I can't declutter that. This one, why am I so torn on this one? Because I love this palette so much. It's just so many things have come out since then that have kind of replaced this for me. Okay, we'll put that one, I guess, in the maybe since I'm having such a hard time. And then this is my larger MAC palette that I made. I don't know, I went through this phase of being obsessed with MAC eyeshadows, and that's where this came from. And now I'm like, do I need all of these colors? I have my smaller palettes, which I love. I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, I think that's all of, oh no, hang on. There's one more. My Tartelette in Bloom palette. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is super old too. There's something about this one that I just love, even though I mainly use like these 6 when I use this palette. I don't really use these very much, and this is so old. I don't know how long I've even had this, but something about this just like makes me want to keep it. But do I really need this? No, Blair, I feel like I can let that go. I don't need that. I don't. I think that's it for palettes. Now let's go back to these maybes. Prada. I'm gonna say let that go. I know I'm not gonna use that pink. I'm probably not going to use these two that much either. I would literally be keeping it for that shade, and I have shades similar to that in other palettes. So that is going to go. These Victoria Beckham palettes. I think I'm going to get rid of Olive. Is this one called? I think it was called Olive. I forget. These greens, they're so beautiful, but am I realistically going to use these? Not really. And even this matte color is really warm, like yellow brown. It's pretty, but I know if I keep it, it's just gonna sit there. It's never gonna get used. I kind of feel the same way about this one. I think I'm gonna sell these on Mercari. Somebody else can get some use out of them, and it would work better for their skin tone. I wish so bad she would come out with some muted, or at least one palette that has softer colors in it. All right. Natasha Denona Gold. I'm going to say keep for now because we really don't have green at all in what I'm keeping as of right now. So I'm going to say keep that one. And then this, I'm going to say keep. I know it's old. I know I should get rid of it, but I love my Patrick Ta stuff. I just do. Okay. So that is it for the palettes. Let me count these up quickly. All right, y'all. I counted them up. I had a change of heart and I added some more to the declutter pile. I just felt like I was still keeping things that I'm not going to pull out and use. So I did add the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt. Like I said, I think this formula is great. I do like this palette, but there are definitely shades in here that I'm not going to use. If I keep this palette, I'm going to use like 4 or 5 shades from here and not use the rest really. I do like it, but I feel like I don't need that. I also added this little mini gold. I looked this up. You can't even get this palette anymore, and I was debating it anyways, so I added that. I added this Surratt palette. This is the one, you can't buy this. They made this and sent it to me, but it's just for their single shadows in a palette. I like the other one in Beyond Beige better, and I know I'm going to use that one, so I am going to keep that one and get rid of the other one. I think I'm going to declutter this also. I like this palette, but again, I have his new 6-pan. All 6 of those shades work for me. These darker ones in here, especially like these 3, these reddish, really warm colors, I will not use that on my eyes. I do not like reds on my eyes. I don't know. Every time I use a color like that, I don't like it. The black, I don't really use. And then these cream shadows are nice, but like, do I need them? No. So I added that, and that's it. So now I'm getting rid of 21 palettes. So I am decluttering 21 and I'm keeping 23. So I'm just about cut them in half, which I'm very happy about, because the thing is, like, I know what I like with eyeshadows, and even in videos, I'm going to use the stuff that I like. So there's just no point in hanging on to stuff that I know is just going to sit there, you know? So again, decluttering 21, keeping 23. I'm very happy with that. Okay, moving into single shadows now. This is also probably going to be hard because I love single eyeshadows too. So this is probably going to be tricky, but let's get started. So we'll start with a formula that I clearly love because I have 8 of them, the Armani Eye Tints. I love these. I definitely have some favorites though. I do think there's at least one that I could probably let go, maybe 2. My favorite is 18M. So these are very lightweight, kind of like a moussey texture, but they're very creamy and they do dry down, but they're not matte, like they are matte when they dry, but they have just a little bit of like a sheen to them. They're not like a powdered finish, but this is the shade 18M, which is my favorite. I love it. It's like a eyeshadow, but not really kind of color, like my skin tone, but just a hair darker. So that is always in my collection. You can see I'm like scraping the sides of that one. So that will definitely stay. I also love 22M. This is a really popular one in Cashew. Much deeper, as you can see there, but it's really, really nice, especially if you really sheer it out. It's a really nice warm brown. Love that one. This one is actually newer to me. This is shade 30M and it's a cooler toned brown. Really nice though, and again, these are nice because you can really sheer them out or you can make them really intense and they last all day. They're incredible. I love this formula. So we'll be keeping those. Then I have this one. This is 36M, which is a really, really deep brown. This one I really only use as like a smoky liner or something like that, but it is super nice for that. It's a really nice brown. So I'm going to keep those. The mattes, I love. If I had to pick, I like the mattes better than the sparkly shades, but I do like the sparkles too. Okay, this is 67S. It's like a topper neutral color. That is staying. Also keeping 68S. This is like a bronzy, almost like a khaki shimmer. Love that one. That one is staying. Then I have shade 9 and shade 12. These are the 2 I use the least. Which one is this? This is shade 9. It's kind of like a cool toned pewter color. Why don't I use that? That's so pretty. And then this is shade 12, which I think is, yeah, it's a really light topper shade. That one, I don't use that one much. I like 67S better, which is this one right here. They're similar. This one is a little bit frostier, a little bit more white. I think I could let that one go. This one right here, that is so pretty. I don't use that one either. Okay, that one's gonna stay. But that's a really, really good formula. Okay, moving into my Lisa Eldridge shadows. So I have 2 of her matte shadows. I have Irene, which is kind of like a pinky beige. And then I also have Phoebe, which is a little bit warmer. I will say I'm not crazy about either of these shades, especially Phoebe. This one is so warm and it's a little bit deep. I honestly think I'm going to declutter this. I like this formula a lot. I actually just ordered some of her new shades that I think are going to work better for me. This was one of her originals and it's just a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer than I like. So I'm going to declutter that. I'll probably resell that one because there's nothing wrong with it. And then Irene is more pink. I can make that one work more easily. It's still a little bit dark. Honestly think I might sell both of them because they're barely used and the colors are not the best for me. Now this one I'm keeping. This is her liquid Lorax formula in Emily. Oh my gosh, such a pretty, like neutral, kind of bronzy taupe color. I love that one. So that one is going to stay. But yeah, I ordered some of the new shades of the Lisa Eldridge shadows. I just haven't gotten them yet. So I'll show you those when I get them. Then I have the Rim Beauty shadow in the shade Later. I'm going to declutter this. It's old. I actually used to love this. This was like one of my favorites. It's basically like my skin tone, just a little bit deeper. It's kind of like a light, warm brown. I don't use this anymore though. I always use either the Armani or the Makeup by Mario or the e.l.f. I don't think I need to hang on to that, so I'm gonna let that go. Then I have this Chantecaille cream shadow in Marron Glacé. This was part of their holiday collection. This was sent to me, so I did not buy this. And this is really pretty, but I'm not gonna use it. I'm not. It is really nice, but it's not one that I reach for a lot. The formula is okay, but it's nothing that I would choose over my Armani eye tints. So I'm gonna let that go. And then I have one Sicily eyeshadow in the shade 2. I forget, I think it was Nikki LaRose that influenced me to buy this. This is a nice formula as well. This shade is definitely a little bit warmer than I like. It pulls kind of like that orangey tone, which is not my favorite, sadly. I honestly would buy this again in a different color. It's just the shade is not 100% right. So I think I'm gonna declutter that, which makes me sad because that was expensive. Group number 2. Let's start with an easy keep. This is something, I don't know that I've even talked about this in a YouTube video. I honestly can't remember, but this is a single shadow from Jones Road that I absolutely love. This is the shade Rose Gold, and it's not like the most innovative eyeshadow formula ever, but this color is just, if I want one metallic neutral eyeshadow, this is exactly what I want. Like, not super cool, not super warm. I really like this. It's actually really nice paired on top of their new shadow sticks, which we'll get to. And I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I love that. I reach for that quite a bit. So that will stay. Also a keep is this from Maybelline. This is one of the Expert eyeshadows in the shade Nude Glow. Honestly, kind of similar to Jones Road. This one is a little bit different though. It's a little bit more pinky than Rose Gold from Jones Road. This is a very like hidden drugstore gem. I've talked about it here and there. This shade is kind of hard to find. I think you can get it at like Walmart or Walgreens, but this color is so good. So pretty if you like the kind of colors that I like. Very neutral, super nice. Okay, then I have this one from Morphe. This is the Solo Artist Priming Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Melody. So this is their new formula. And you know what? This is not a bad formula, but this color is not what I thought it was when I bought it. It's a little bit, I thought it was going to be more like a rosy, beigey kind of color, and it kind of looks like it is in the pan, but once you put it on the eyes, it turns super warm, like almost an orangey color, which I do not like for my skin tone. So sadly, I'm going to declutter. That's just mainly a shade thing. All right, then I have 2 Danessa Myricks Color Fix eyeshadows. I have one of the matte ones in Nude number 3. This I will definitely keep. This is a great like base for eyeshadow, or you can wear it alone, and this color is really nice, very neutral, and it wears all day. These are great, so I will definitely keep Nude number 3. This one is a metallic one in the shade Celebration. I want to say, I honestly don't remember. There was a specific reason that I ordered this, and I can't remember what it was, but I don't think I'm going to use this. It's very deep for my skin tone, obviously, and I don't know. This type of shadow, the squeeze out kind in a shade that dark, I don't think I'm going to pull out and use. So I'm going to declutter that. Then I have the eye lights from RMS in the shade Strobe. Really pretty. I don't use this much though. I bought this when I did a full face of RMS, and this color is so good though. I don't know why I don't use this because it's so pretty. definitely gonna hold on to that. That is the shade Strobe. I have a Rabanne color shot in the shade Meteor Light. I don't remember how this, so this one is a warm, kind of a warmer version of that RMS color. I'm gonna declutter that. I never reach for that one either. I don't feel like I need it. I have the Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadows, of course. So I have Original Space Cowboy, which is a classic. I will definitely keep. I also have this one in Wild Dipper. This is one of the newer shades. It's a little bit warmer. Honestly, on the eyes, you can't really tell a difference. I don't think I need both. This one is newer too, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else have that because I don't think I need both. And then I have two of the Chantecaille single shadows. I have the Cheetah Shadow and I have the Olive, Sophisticated Olive. I think it's the, is that a rhinoceros, I think? I'm definitely keeping the Cheetah. This is obviously very neutral, nice, like will go with anything. Kind of like a champagne shadow. I will keep that. And then this one, this is pretty. I did not buy this one actually. They sent this to me. I did buy the Cheetah one myself. This one is pretty. It's like, it is an olive. I mean, it is kind of an interesting color. It's just not going to be an everyday color for me, but I wonder maybe I should keep this one. I think I will. I was going to say maybe I'll declutter that one because that's not an everyday shade, but the formula from Chantecaille is really nice on these, and that's different from any of my other colors, so I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, more single shadows. These are like, this is so hard for me, I can't even tell you. I don't know why, but I am so attached to my single shadows. I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, easy keep, the Hourglass Reflect. Is that the name? Oh no, Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in Reflect. Love it. Perfect neutral shimmer shade. Really nice. Definitely hang on to that. You can definitely tell the type of shade that I like because a lot of these, yes, they do look similar, but you know, I know what I like. Then I have this tiny little Natasha Denona Essential Eye Duo. This is, I think this is still out. I actually just got this recently. I was in the Ulta checkout line and I saw this and I just had to have it. It's like a matte, kind of peachy, pinky matte, and then a really pretty icy pink glitter topper that I love. I think that's like a nice little travel duo to have, so I'm gonna keep that. All right, then I have a MAC All That Glitters. I think I have an All That Glitters in one of those palettes that I showed you, the bigger palettes, but there's something about having this little individual one that I don't know, I just like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Such a classic. All right, then we have this one from Sephora collection. I am gonna declutter this because I cannot get this shadow open. I just got this too. These are the new ones, right? Like I just finally got it open, but you literally have to like pry it open. There's definitely like a packaging issue with these because I like genuinely, you cannot open it. It is so irritating. Of course now as I sit here, I'm gonna be able to open it. You go like this. But like I don't wanna have to pry things open with my nail, you know? Then I have this Ulta single shadow. These are actually really good. These Ulta shadows. That one is really nice in the shade Suede. Definitely gonna keep that one. The Sephora one is really annoying, so I'm gonna let that go. This is a Makeup Forever single shadow that I'm pretty sure they don't make anymore. This is before they rebranded a little while ago, and that's a shame because that one is really pretty. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can declutter that. That is even prettier than I remember. I don't know anything about this. I don't know what shade it is. This is very old. I think I need to keep it though. Okay, and then I have my Merit single shadows. I have a love-hate relationship with these. This is the shade Studio. This formula, okay, is very matte, or these are the matte ones. This is the new shimmer one. very matte, and they do kind of dry out on the top, so you have to like constantly warm them up again. Studio is an interesting shade because it's supposed to be a taupe. On me, it pulls pretty warm. It's not as warm though as that Lisa Eldridge, or no, the Morphe shadow that I was talking about, this one right here. I do like it. I kind of have to be careful with it because if not, it'll turn orange, and I don't like that. But I do like the tone overall, so I think we will keep that. I just got Brun. I haven't even used it yet. They sent me Brun, and I'm gonna hang on to that one. So we'll keep Brun. This one is Vachetta. I always hang on to this one, but again, I wish they would bring out more matte shades. I feel like I don't love any of the matte shades. Like that one is super warm, like a yellow brown. Every time I try to use it, it's too warm. I think I will declutter. And then this is the new one, the shimmer one in Glacé. It's like an icy champagne pink. This formula is okay. I've used it here and there. It's fine. I'm not like in love with it though from Merit. I think it's nice, but I almost wonder if I should resell this honestly, because I don't know if I'm gonna reach for it. Yeah, I feel like I might declutter that actually. It's pretty new, but I don't know. I think that formula is okay, but it's not a favorite. More single shadows. Okay. Easy Keeps, the Mario Master Matte, these new ones. I love these. This one is my absolute favorite in Sandstone. Perfect neutral for my skin tone. If you have oily eyelids, these will last all day on you. They are super, super matte though, so you have to be okay with a really matte eye, but they are very, very good. So those are Easy Keeps. Then we have Dior Beige Mitza. Do they make this anymore? Again, this is the previous, or like 2 reformulations ago. Dior Beige Mitza. Oh my gosh, this color is so good. I don't know anything about the new ones. I have no idea if you can get this color anymore, truly, but yeah, that is so beautiful. I cannot declutter that. Let me know if you know. Do they still make that? Are the new ones like the old ones? Let me know. This is a Rabanne mini palette in Date Night. Okay, so this is basically 2 like topper colors. So we've got this like really pretty bronzy topper and then this light bright topper. That is super pretty, especially this one. I don't use this though, like ever. I'm gonna hang on to that. I feel like that's kind of been neglected in my collection. I'm gonna hang on to that. Then I have this Half Magic shadow, which I don't think you can buy a palette for this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you have to keep these in this little, I don't know what this is made of, like compostable little palette thing. Or you have to get like a magnetic palette and I think it will fit in there. This is a pretty shadow, but I can tell you I'm not gonna pull that out and use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Then I have the Victoria Beckham lid lusters. I have Chiffon, which looks like this. It's very neutral. It's pretty. I will say, I feel like these do get kind of weird on the top after a while. Do you see what I mean? Like they kind of, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's from using your finger on them or what, but I do like these from Victoria Beckham. They're nice as toppers, or you can wear them on their own. They're really pretty. And then I have Honey, which is like a warmer bronzy color. But see, you really have to like work your finger in there to get it out. That one's warmer, but I do like them. So I'm gonna hang on to those from Victoria Beckham. I have another Merit single shadow. This one is in Viper, which is the green. Nice, but I never use it. I'm gonna let that go. Then I have 2 Chanel single shadows. I have Quartz Fume, and I have Brun Taupe. Okay, so Quartz Fume is kind of like an olivey color, really pretty, and then Brun Talpa is more of like, kind of like a taupey silver. Definitely keeping Brun Talpa. Then, I don't know, this one, I have not used this in a very long time. It's very unique. I think I'll hang on to it. I need to, that's another one that's kind of been neglected. I need to pull that out and use it. I have a Bare Minerals Single Shadow in Nude Beach. Remember when Bare Minerals used to have like tons of single shadows? There were tons. I can remember going in a Bare Minerals boutique and they had this huge display of like this little round spinny thing that had all the shadows in it. They don't have those anymore. I gotta hang on to Nude Beach. I gotta have a Bare Minerals single shadow. And then this Tom Ford Cream and Powder Eye Duo in Naked Bronze. They don't make this anymore. Why? I don't know. I feel like Tom Ford always gets rid of everything. Always. It's just like, they never keep anything. It's so pretty. I can't use it in videos though. I'm gonna declutter. It's time to let it go. Somebody else might want it. Maybe I'll sell that one. I don't know. A few more single shadows here. I have MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. That's an easy keep. I use that mainly as primer. Then I have Groundwork from MAC. This is one of those shades that I like it as long as I don't like over apply it sometimes. When I blend it out, I feel like it can look really, really warm. I don't know why though, because like right there, it doesn't look warm, but I swear I feel like this one on my eyes, it does look like that sometimes. I like the color though. I'm gonna hang on to that one. Oh my gosh, then this, Tom Ford doesn't make this either. I have held on to this for so long. This was the Emotion Proof Eye Color in the shade number 3, Naked Eye. These were so phenomenal. And they discontinued these too. Like why? I found this one time at a cosmetics company store and just bought it on a whim, and it's so pretty. Like I can't declutter that. I know you can't get it and I know it's old, but I cannot declutter that. I have the Chantecaille eyeshadow in, or this is the Mermaid Matte eyeshadow in Sylvie. Beautiful color, nice neutral brown. It leans a little bit warm, but this one is not like too orangey. So I'm gonna keep this Make eyeshadow, the multi-chromatic metal reflecting eyeshadow in Glaze. This I actually just got. This was sent to me, and this is actually really pretty. Nice topper and very, very intense though. So if you don't like a lot of like wet sparkle, definitely would not like these, but I am gonna hang on to that one. Oh, and then I just have primers. Rare Beauty Eye Primer I'll keep. Sigma eye bases I love and I'll keep. NARS tinted eyeshadow base. They don't make it anymore. Another product that was discontinued that I don't understand. And then this is a pigment from MAC in Tan. I don't use pigments, but this color is so pretty. I kind of want to keep it just because I know I do not need to keep that, but for some reason I want to hang on to it. I'm gonna keep that for now. Okay, I don't know if you consider these singles, but I have these with my single shadows. These are the Patrick Ta duos. So I have We Need Better Lighting. I have In Your Dreams. I have Still at the Club. And I have Talk to My Team. In Your Dreams is one of the new ones. Love that. That's definitely staying. I also love She Needs Better Lighting because you get a gold and like a white silver in here that you could pair with anything. Still at the Club, very unique, but I like this one the most. This is the topper from that quad, really pretty, very different, kind of brown, like a taupey silver brown, really interesting. The one I don't use as much is this one, which is Talk to My Team. This one has this pink and gold like shift. I think I might declutter that one. I know I'll use the other 3, but I feel like I could be without that one. Oh, one more palette. I just realized is this e.l.f. palette. This is Keep It Ethereal. I think they were going for the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette here. Actually, for drugstore, this palette is really good. Yeah, for drugstore content, I'm definitely gonna hang on to this. If these tin pan palettes from e.l.f. are actually very good for the price. I think they're like $10 maybe. I like these colors too. So that one is going to stay. Okay, I have shadow sticks too, but I'm gonna do those separately, I think. Let me count these up quickly. Okay, so these are the ones I'm getting rid of. So I'm getting rid of 18, I'm keeping 41. So I didn't do as well with the single shadows, but honestly, I use a lot of single shadows. I use them more than palettes a lot of times, so it makes sense for me to have a lot of them, but you know, I didn't get rid of as many here. But keeping 41, decluttering 18. Okay, these are my eyeshadow sticks. I'm gonna definitely cut these down because majority of these I don't use. The ones that I do use, I use a lot, but a lot of these just kind of sit and I never touch them. This is my Victoria Beckham in the shade Trench, which is a really light, warm brown, but I really like this. Very basic, I know, but like I said, I know what I like and I'm gonna keep that. So that one is easy. Stay. Also going to stay is this Chanel Stylo Ombre Contour Stick in the shade 12. This one is a little bit cooler toned. It's really nice. Honestly, you could use this on the lips too, but it's a really nice single shadow. So I will definitely keep that. Then I have this one from Nabla. This is the Cupid's Arrow Stylo in the shade Cappuccino. I want to say this is actually a similar style product to the Chanel one. This one I am going to declutter. Every time I've used this, it is so warm. I don't like it. It's too yellow orange on me. So that one I'm going to declutter. This is a MAC Chroma Crayon eyeshadow stick in High Taupe. This was from Holiday a year ago, I think. Oh gosh, this shade is so pretty. I don't think you can even get this anymore. I love the color though. I have another one from MAC, the Nude Dazzle Shadow in Subliminal Spark. Let me swatch these next to each other. Yeah, they're different. Subliminal Spark is more of like a light champagne shimmer. High Taupes has more brown in it, more of like a cool toned brown. Oof. I gotta keep both of those. I like those colors a lot. Then I have this one from Ulta Beauty. This is the cream eyeshadow stick in the shade You Rock. I haven't used this one in a while. Oh, it's pretty. This one is like a cool toned taupe, I would say. Dang, I've been neglecting that one. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I have the Ilia Eye Stylus in Adorn. I have another one of these too somewhere. That one's pretty neutral, I would say. It doesn't pull like incredibly warm. I also have the shade Flax, which is the matte formula, which is kind of like a cool, that one's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool toned, but it also has like a little bit of like a green tone to it. Definitely gonna keep that one. I think I'm gonna keep Adorn. I'm not doing very well with these, am I? I have the NARS shadow stick in the shade Mambo. This is a matte color. It's really dark. It's after their the liner that was so famous in Mambo. It's like a brown, but it's like a reddish brown. I think I can let that go. I'm not gonna use it. I have the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Liner Gel Stick. It's called Jungle. Yeah, I haven't used it. I don't think I'm going to. Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Cocoa. Who remembers when this was like everywhere? Everybody talked about that. God, it's so pretty, but I never use it. I feel like I have to keep it, but I never use it. Okay, Intense Moonlight from Laura Mercier. Swatching it next to those MAC ones. That one is like a warmer gold shimmer. And then, let's see, I have Strapless from Laura Mercier. That one doesn't have as much shimmer as the other ones. That one's more metallic. I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, they're all so pretty. I'm gonna say those are maybes. Those two, I'm unsure of. Then I have Metallic Taupe, also from Laura Mercier. That one's a really gold. I wonder why that one's called Taupe. That one's a really warm gold. I'm gonna let that one go. I have Copper from Laura Mercier. Really, really warm color. I'm not gonna use that. Taupe from Bobbi Brown. That one is actually kind of similar to the, what is it? The Jones Road shadow stick I showed you recently. I'm gonna let that one go. I actually prefer the Jones Road. This one pulls a little bit warm to me, too warm. I have Moonstone, which is like a light shimmer. That one I can let go. I have Soft Bronze from Bobbi Brown. It's like a light, warm golden color. And then I have Golden Bronze from Bobbi Brown. I prefer Golden Bronze. This one's a little bit yellow in Soft Bronze. I think that one could go. Okay, these are the new shadow sticks from Jones Road I was talking about. I won't swatch all of them, but these are brand new. They're really nice matte shadows, super creamy. This is my favorite that I was talking about a minute ago in Taupe, but I think this Taupe is a little bit cooler toned and a little bit just softer in terms of the color overall. I'm going to keep that and get rid of the other Taupe color. We have Smoky Brown, which is a really pretty, like cool toned gray brown. And then Dark Brown is really, really dark. Those are brand new and I like them. And those I will keep. I have one from Thrive Cosmetics, the Brilliant Eye Brightener in Shany Joe, which is a nice light warm brown, but it's not too dark. This is a nice cream shadow. No one really talks about those, but I do like it. And then the Urban Decay Naked eyeshadow stick in Peach Bums. Really nice, like warm, glittery shadow stick. This is pretty new to me. I hang on to that one. And I think that's it for shadow sticks. Let me count them. I have two in the maybes here. I think those are gonna go. All right, so I'm keeping 15. I'm decluttering 10, which not terrible. I'm fine with that. We didn't quite cut it in half, but I feel good about that. This is the last thing I was going to go through for this video. We do have mascaras and brows, but mascaras, I just kind of get rid of them when they're old, and then brow products, I barely have any, so we're not going to go through those, but we'll go through the liners. Honestly, I feel like I need to get rid of the majority of my eyeliners because I use the same ones over and over and over and over. And I just don't know if I need to just keep hanging on to it a lot more when I keep using the same ones. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's start with Makeup by Mario. So this is a formula I really like. I have Taupe, which is one of the new shades. This is a nice shade if you have lighter skin, lighter eyes, and you feel like black and brown sometimes is just too much for you. It's too dark, just too intense. This shade in Taupe is really nice for that. So that one I will definitely keep. And then I have the Perfect Brown, which is his deep brown. I really like this for the waterline, so I'm gonna hang on to that. I also have Soft Brown from Makeup by Mario, and I believe this one has been discontinued when they relaunched some newer shades. I think they got rid of Soft Brown, which is kind of sad. I like this color. It's like a warm, kind of like a chocolatey reddish brown. So that kind of makes me sad. I wonder if I should declutter this for that. No, I'm gonna hang on to it. I don't think you can get it, but I am gonna hang on to that. I have the Laura Mercier Caviar eyeliner in bronze. This one, oh my gosh, see how soft this is? This is like a warm, almost like a greenish bronze. Really, really beautiful. And this one is actually really nice in the waterline. So I'm gonna keep that. Okay, this used to be my favorite eyeliner of all time, the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Powder Pencil in Classic Brown. Oh my gosh. I thought mine was completely dried up. It's not. I think this has also been discontinued, but I love this product. I also have it in the shimmering brown. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. You can't get these anymore though, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they discontinued them, but this was my ride or die eyeliner. I never say that, but this was it. In the beginning of my channel, this liner was everything. And I feel like I should let them go, but I cannot. I cannot let this go. What else do I have in here? Okay, I have tons of Victoria Beckham, and I love the Victoria Beckham liners, but I literally use the same ones all the time, so I don't know that I need to keep all of these. Some of them were sent to me. Let's see, Victoria Beckham sent me some, and then some I purchased myself. But my favorites, let me move these out of the way. Okay, so my favorites from Victoria Beckham are Orchid, which is this one. This is a purple, and it's a beautiful purple. It's like a soft, more muted purple. Definitely keeping Orchid. I also love Cinnamon. Where is Cinnamon? This is probably the one I use the most. This is like a warm, bronzy brown. How beautiful. That one's gotta stay. And then Cocoa is this one. This is just their dark brown. So, you know, it's not special for the shade really, but it's a good like waterline pencil. So I'm gonna keep Cocoa. And then somehow I've ended up with 2 bronze liners. So bronze is interesting. It's kind of like a green golden bronze, kind of like an olive, I guess, like a khaki olive. But I don't use this, you know, I don't use them. I feel like I need to let those go. I don't want to because they're Victoria Beckham, but like I just don't want to hang on to stuff, you know? Then I have Sea Gray, which I also don't use. This is almost like, it's like a blue. Am I gonna use that? No. I also have Fig, which I prefer Orchid over Fig. Fig is like a deeper purple. I'm gonna let that one go. I have Black, which I never use a black liner. I have Gold Lame. This is like a yellow, I think. Yeah, like I'm not gonna use that. This one I've used before. This is called Night Flash. It's like a silver blue. I'm not gonna use it though. And then I have 2 greens. I have Sequin Green, which this one is kind of pretty. I think I might keep Sequin Green. It's kind of like a silvery green. I might hold on to that one. And then Olive, which that's like an emerald green to me. I don't know why that one's called Olive. I don't think I'm gonna use that. I'm just trying to be realistic here because I just don't want to hang on to stuff anymore just to hang on to it, you know? I feel like I need to keep a green eyeliner. I think I'll hang on to Sequin Green. Okay, and then we have some other ones. This one is the Sarah Creel eyeliner in Everyday Taupe. This is pretty new to me. Sadly, the last time I used this, it had kind of dried out a little bit, which is unfortunate. You can kind of warm it up again, but I feel like it has dried out a little bit. But this is very new in my collection, so I'm gonna hang on to that. MAC Teddy. I never use it. I'm gonna let that go. Persona in Stone. Similar to the others that I have, and I like those better. This one is pretty in Plum Definition from RMS. This isn't interesting. This is like a really blue plum. It's pretty on the eyes though. I might keep that for something different. I have 2 from Jones Road. I have brown, and I have espresso. Both of these were sent to me. These pencils, I've used them a few times. They're okay. I don't think they're the easiest to work with though. I might keep one. Maybe I'll keep brown and declutter espresso. Espresso is deeper and more cool toned. Brown is a little bit lighter. Actually, no, I'm gonna declutter. I feel like when I've used those, those are not the easiest to work with. I'm gonna let those go. I have a Kosas hot liner in the shade Depth. This is like a lighter reddish brown. I like that one. That one can stay. I have two from, I have one from Revlon, one from L'Oreal Infallible in brown denim. One of these I had a really hard time with. I think it might have been the Revlon one. Pretty sure it was. I'm gonna declutter Revlon. I'm gonna declutter both. I'm not gonna pull those out and use them. And then I have two from Sephora collection. I have Tiramisu and Cocoa. Let's see, Cocoa. That one has a little bit of a reddish tint to it, kind of similar to, what was the other one I swatched that had like a reddish tone? I guess it was Soft Brown from Mega by Mario, but I think Mega by Mario is a little bit lighter. And then I have Cocoa from Sephora, or no, Tiramisu, which is basically it's like a brown that looks black. If I have those others, do I need these? No. So these are the ones I'm decluttering. So I'm keeping 13 and I'm decluttering 16, which I'm very happy about. Like I said, I use the same liners all the time and I just don't feel like I need to hang on to all of these, you know? So decluttering 16, keeping 13. All right, that is everything for my eyeshadow palette declutter or eye product declutter, not just palettes. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like I said in the intro, I wanted to be really intentional and just realistic in the things that I'm keeping. And, you know, at this point, I know myself. I know what I like on myself. I know the colors. I know the formulas. I know what I'm actually going to pull out and use on a daily basis or pretty frequently. So that's kind of my mindset going into this. And I feel like I did that. Of course, I kept lots of neutrals because that is what I like and that is what I use. And at the end of the day, that's what I want to own. Things that I like and things that I will actually wear and use. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I will link probably my top products, eye products, in the description box. That's kind of what I've been doing in these declutter videos, so that will be there. If you do shop through my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel. So thank you so much for that. And if you're new, I would love for you to stick around. Please subscribe. I have a whole playlist of declutter videos. If you're into that, I have tons of videos to watch here. So thank you for being here. I will see you again very soon for the final declutter, which will be the lips. That's going to be a big one as well. So that's coming in the next few weeks. But I think that's everything. I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.